Some seasons are remembered because nothing could stop them. Barcelona in the summer of 2008 was not a fairy tale club. They were broken, divided, and embarrassed. Real Madrid had just won La Liga with authority. Ronaldinho, once the face of joy, was overweight and unfocused. Deco was leaving. Eto'o was restless. The dressing room had power struggles. The Camp Nou was restless. And the club handed the keys to a man who had never coached a top-flight match in his life. Pep Guardiola, 37 years old. Former captain. Former midfielder. No major managerial resume. Just ideas. Just obsession. Just belief. When Pep walked into his first press conference, he didn't promise trophies. He promised work. He told the players something that shocked them. If you don't run, you don't play. Then he did something even braver. He told Ronaldinho to leave. He told Deco to leave. He told the board he would rather lose than compromise his idea. And quietly, almost arrogantly, he built everything around a small Argentine who had never been trusted as a leader. Lionel Messi. Preseason began with doubt everywhere. Spanish media laughed. Opposition fans mocked. This is a school teacher, not a manager, they said. Barcelona lost their first league game of the season, 1-0 to Numancia. Then they drew 1-1 with Racing Santander. 1 point from 2 matches. The headlines came fast. Pep out. Experiment failed. Too soft, but inside the dressing room, something was forming. Training sessions were brutal. Passing drills were endless. Positioning was obsessive. Every movement mattered. Xavi was told he would be the brain. Iniesta was told he would be the soul. Busquets, a skinny kid from the B team, was told he would protect everything. Puyol was told to lead with blood. And Messi was told something simple. This team is yours. By late September, the machine started to hum. Barcelona destroyed Sporting Gijón 6-1. Messi scored twice. Eto'o looked reborn. The passing was fast, cruel, relentless. Opponents couldn't breathe. By October, Barcelona were top of La Liga. By November, they were terrifying. Then came El Clasico, the Bernabeu. December 13th, 2008. Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Madrid were leaders. Madrid were confident. Madrid thought Pep would crumble. Instead, Barcelona delivered one of the most humiliating nights in Clasico history. 2-6. 6 goals. At the Bernabeu. Eto'o, Messi, Henry, Puyol, peak. Every attack felt like an insult. When Puyol scored and kissed the captain's armband in front of Madrid crowd, something shifted in Spanish football. That night wasn't just a win. It was a statement. Barcelona weren't competing. They were rewriting the rules. By the end of 2008, Barcelona were leading La Liga with authority. But Pep kept warning everyone, this is only the beginning. Because Europe was waiting. The Champions League returned with danger. Group stage. Barcelona topped their group with Bayern Munich, Sporting CP, and Shakhtar Donetsk. They conceded just 5 goals. They looked untouchable. Then came Lyon in the round of 16. First leg in France ended 1-1. Critics returned. They're not strong enough. They can't do it away. Second leg at the Camp Nou answered everything. Barcelona won 5-2. Messi scored twice. Henry danced through defenders. Xavi controlled time. In the quarterfinals, Bayern Munich arrived. German efficiency. German discipline. 90,000 watched. What followed was surgical violence. 4-0. By halftime, Messi scored twice in 10 minutes. Bayern were dismantled. Humiliated. Lost. That night, Europe stopped laughing. But football never lets you breathe. The semi-final opponent was Chelsea. Jose Mourinho's Chelsea. Built to survive. Built to suffer. Built to destroy dreams. First leg at Camp Nou. Barcelona dominated possession. Chelsea defended with 10 men. The match ended 0-0. The frustration was visible. The doubt returned. Second leg, Stamford Bridge. One of the most hostile nights in European football history. Eschen scored a thunderbolt. Chelsea led 1-0. Barcelona needed a goal. Minutes passed. Time slowed. Chelsea defended with their lives. Penalties were denied. Tempers exploded. The crowd roared. Then, in the 93rd minute, Andres Iniesta arrived. Outside the box. One touch. One shot. Top corner. Silence. Absolute silence. Iniesta didn't celebrate. He screamed. Barcelona were through. Chelsea collapsed. History would argue that night forever. But the goal counted. And Barcelona were in the final. Rome awaited. Manchester United awaited. The reigning champions. Cristiano Ronaldo. Sir Alex Ferguson. Power versus philosophy. Speed versus control. And the world asked the same question. Could this Barcelona team really finish the story? But even before Rome, the season had another war. La Liga was not over. Real Madrid pushed. Barcelona stumbled. Fatigue crept in. Draws appeared. Pressure tightened. Every match felt heavier. Then came the Copa del Rey final. May 13th, 2009. Barcelona versus Athletic Bilbao. The chance for the first trophy. Pep's first final. The nerves were visible. The stakes were massive. Athletic scored first. The stadium exploded. Doubt hit again. But Barcelona responded like champions. Yaya Touré equalized. Messi scored. Boyan scored. Xavi controlled everything. 4-1. Copa del Rey winners. Pep Guardiola lifted his first trophy as a manager. Barcelona had won. 2 more remained. La Liga was next. Champions League last. The pressure was unbearable. Players spoke of sleepless nights. Pep barely rested. Training sessions became lighter, smarter. He trusted the system. On May 16, 2009, Barcelona sealed La Liga. A season-long race finished with dominance. Goals scored, 105. Goals conceded, 35. Messi finished league top scorer with 23 goals. Eto'o followed with 22. Xavi led Europe in assists. Barcelona were champions of Spain. 2 trophies down. 1 left. Rome. May 27, 2009. Stadio Olimpico. Manchester United versus Barcelona. The final that would decide everything. The final that would define a generation. As the players lined up, the noise was deafening. United looked confident, experienced, powerful. Barcelona looked calm, focused, almost quiet. Pep hugged each player. He whispered to Messi. He whispered to Xavi. He whispered to Iniesta. And as the referee blew the whistle, nobody knew yet that this night would change football forever. But the opening minutes didn't go as planned. Manchester United started aggressively. Ronaldo fired shots. Pressure mounted. Barcelona survived. Then, in the 10th minute, everything changed. Xavi crossed. Messi, the smallest player on the pitch, rose between giants. And he headed the ball. Into the net. Lionel Messi, with a header, in a Champions League final. And in that moment, as Barcelona celebrated and United froze, you could feel it. This season was no longer about stopping them. It was about witnessing something you would never see again. And the rest of that night, that's where legends were truly born. The header didn't just give Barcelona the lead, it shattered the balance of the final. Manchester United had come to Rome expecting a fight. What they faced instead was control. After Messi's goal, Barcelona didn't retreat. They didn't rush. They didn't panic. They slowed the game down until it belonged to them. Xavi began dictating every second like a conductor who had memorized the orchestra. Iniesta drifted between lines, untouchable, uncatchable. Busquets screened the defense with intelligence beyond his years. And every United press ended the same way, with the ball back at Barcelona's feet. Sir Alex Ferguson would later admit, "We never got the ball back." The match became a lesson. United chased shadows. Barcelona passed through pressure. And when the second goal came, it felt inevitable. In the 70th minute, Xavi slipped a pass through the middle. Eto'o turned, stepped past Vidic, and finished calmly. 2-0. Game over. Champions League winners. Pep Guardiola collapsed to his knees. Players hugged, cried, laughed. Barcelona had completed the treble. Copa del Rey, La Liga, Champions League, the first Spanish club in history to do it, in Pep's first season. But what made that night immortal wasn't just the trophies. It was the way they won, the philosophy, the dominance, the idea that football could be both ruthless and beautiful. UEFA statistics told the story brutally. Barcelona completed over 500 passes in the final. United barely crossed 300. Possession, 67%. Shots conceded, minimal. Ronaldo, the world's most explosive player, isolated and frustrated. Messi named man of match. Xavi named UEFA best midfielder. Pep named Europe's most dangerous thinker. But the season didn't end in Rome. Because Barcelona weren't finished, they came back to Spain knowing something bigger was happening. The world now feared them. Opponents adjusted their entire tactics just to survive. Low blocks, 10 men behind the ball, time wasting from kickoff. It didn't matter. The 2009 to 2010 season began with the same hunger, same structure, same obsession. But now, Barcelona were hunted, and hunted teams bleed differently. Early signs showed cracks. Injuries piled up. Opposition adapted. Inter Milan, coached by Jose Mourinho, arrived with a plan built entirely to stop Barcelona. The Champions League semi-final became war. First leg in Milan ended 3-1 to Inter. Second leg at Camp Nou was siege football. Barcelona attacked for 90 minutes. Inter defended with 10 men. The goal never came. And for the first time, Barcelona lost. Not because they were bad, but because football always demands evolution. Pep learned. Pain sharpened him. And Barcelona responded the only way they knew how, by becoming even better. The summer of 2010 brought subtle changes. David Villa arrived, a finisher with intelligence. Mascherano joined, a warrior for balance. and Lionel Messi moved centrally, false nine, a position that didn't exist before him. What followed wasn't a season. It was domination disguised as routine. La Liga 2010-11 became an exhibition. Barcelona finished with 96 points, scored 95 goals, conceded just 21. Messi scored 31 league goals. Across all competitions, he scored 53. A club record, a Spanish record, a European statement. But numbers don't explain fear. Teams stopped pressing, stopped chasing, stopped believing. They defended just to limit damage. El Clasico returned. November 29, 2010. Camp Nou, Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Pep versus Mourinho. Philosophy versus pragmatism. What followed is often described in whispers. 5-0. 5-0. Xavi, Pedro, Villa twice. Jeffrin. Madrid couldn't touch the ball. Mourinho stood motionless. Pique held up his hand. 5 fingers. This wasn't rivalry. This was humiliation. The Champions League final returned. Wembley, May 28, 2011. Barcelona versus Manchester United. Again, Ferguson warned beforehand, we cannot give them control. They did. Barcelona delivered what many consider the greatest performance in a European final. 3-1. Pedro, Messi, Villa, Xavi, and Iniesta ran the game like gods. After the match, Sir Alex said, they're the best team I've ever faced. Pep cried. Messi lifted another Ballon d'Or. Barcelona lifted another Champions League. 2 finals, 2 wins, total dominance. The season nobody could stop Barcelona had now stretched beyond 1 year. It became an era. Between 2008 and 2012, Barcelona won 14 trophies out of 19 possible. 3 La Ligas, 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Copa del Rey titles, 3 Spanish Super Cups, 2 UEFA Super Cups, 2 Club World Cups. They scored over 500 goals. They redefined pressing. They redefined possession. They redefined what it meant to control a football match. But dominance always has a cost. The mental pressure was enormous. The expectations suffocating. Pep Guardiola aged visibly. Sleepless nights became normal. After the 2012 Champions League semi-final loss to Chelsea, Pep announced he was stepping away. I need to recharge, he said. The era ended quietly, not with collapse, but with exhaustion. Yet, the legacy refused to fade. Because this wasn't just a winning team. It was an idea that traveled. Spain used it to win Euro 2008, World Cup 2010, Euro 2012. Bayern Munich adopted it. Manchester City perfected it. Every modern pressing system traces back to this Barcelona. And Lionel Messi? He grew inside it. From talented winger to greatest player in football history. 6 Ballon d'Ors with Barcelona. Over 670 goals. Countless moments. But even Messi would admit it. This team made me. This season, this era, wasn't about one man. It was about trust. Between teammates. Between coach and players. Between philosophy and patience. It proved something football often forgets. That control beats chaos. That intelligence beats strength. That belief beats fear. The season nobody could stop Barcelona wasn't unstoppable because they won. It was unstoppable because they changed the rules. They forced football to adapt. Forced opponents to rethink everything. Forced fans to expect more than just victory. They made beauty mandatory. And years later, when people argue about the greatest team ever, the conversation always ends the same way. Rome. Wembley. 6 trophies in 1 year. The sound of passes echoing through stadiums. The sight of players chasing shadows. The feeling that you were watching history breathe. This wasn't just football. It was a reminder that when belief meets discipline, when vision meets courage, when patience meets genius, some seasons don't just pass. They stay forever. If this story moved you, if it reminded you why you fell in love with football in the first place, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and stay with us. Because the next story isn't just about winning. It's about the moment football fought back and lost.